Hey guys, happy hump day. Yay, it's hump day. So I was asked to do this video from a couple of people in my group based on the way I have my ability to explain things and really separate bullshit from facts. So here I go. There's been a lot of discussion in regards to Stephen Avery's molestation charges and rape charges and all the other nonsense. So this is where we do fact from fiction. Facts are, Stephen Avery was hated in his town. Stephen Avery was hated by his family. Stephen Avery was hated by the police. Stephen Avery was hated by everybody, pretty much. Stephen Avery went to jail when he was 25, or something like that. Stephen Avery had a wife and 5 kids. 5 kids at 23 years old tells me this man's getting laid more often than not. And then he had twins. So I believe he was about 23, I think, when he went to jail. 24, don't quote me. I'm not 100% positive, but he was in his early 20s. All right. So those are the facts. Now let's look at some other statistics that over 70% of lotto winners have been contacted by or accused of stuff that they do not know. They don't know these people. That more than half of all lottery winners end up giving money to people that they don't know for whatever reason. Most lotto winners will get sued at some point by a frivolous lawsuit. I think it was like 65% or something. Will get sued by people they don't even know for charges they don't even know. Now, those are facts about someone coming into big money. Oh, and also that they have friends and family that come out of the woodwork that, now all of a sudden they're the best friend. Hey, chummy. So how does this equate to Stephen Avery? There's been a lot of talk around the hood that Stephen Avery on these pages was charged with molestation and he was charged with rape and so on and so forth. And what makes me laugh about it is the fact that, okay, so he was charged with this stuff. What does that mean? Absolutely nothing. Let's go back to what I said in the beginning. Stephen Avery was hated among his peers. Stephen Avery was hated among the police. Stephen Avery spent 9 extra years in jail because the police hated him so much. That's not normal. So tell me what kind of credibility you have when you have a family that is willing to stab each other for $1, stab each other in the back for whatever reason, and I'm going to call some spades here. How often do you think that the family went and saw Brendan and Stephen, besides mom and dad, over the years? From what I was told, almost nil. From what I was told, didn't really give him any money. From what I was told, pretty much blew him off. But then MAM comes out and all of a sudden they're best friends. If you guys don't think that some of that has to do with money, you're sadly mistaken. Because if they are proven innocent, or shall I say once they're proven innocent, they're, at least Stephen, I don't know about Brendan because he confessed and Wisconsin has these laws about confessing, so I don't know how much money he's going to get. But Stephen Avery, case like this has never happened in the history of the world, where someone's falsely accused, gets acquitted, exonerated, and then goes back for another crime. That proves that he was set up again. That's never happened. So when a lot of people say, oh, this case is like this one, no, it's not. There has never been a case in the history of America quite like this one. So we could thank the producers of MAM for that, for making it aware. But not to get too off track. So you have a low-life family. I'm not even going to say poor. I'm going to say a low-life family that will stab each other as fast as they can, especially when there's money involved. We have all witnessed that in the hood. So to sit here and I'm sorry if I just pissed someone off, but oh well, it's reality. So to add to that, Now you have these girls coming out of the woodwork. He raped me. He molested me, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let me remind you guys, these charges were dropped. The police who hated Avery, who kept him in prison for 8 years longer than he needed to be because they just hated him that much, he could have gotten out 10 years prior of the time he actually got out. He was a local celebrity. He had a law coming, about it, to stop wrongful convictions. And he was filing a huge lawsuit. When you're a lowlife, $1 million seems like $100 million to middle class. It's not even feasible to me in any which way, shape, or form that the police who hated him that much, who kept him in jail all those times, and where, as he's getting a law written about him, wouldn't find some ounce of evidence to prove that Stephen Avery is guilty of these charges. Guys, the same cops that framed him, whatnot, which is probably where they get the rape from, but these same cops found the accusations were completely meaningless, had no substance to it. If anybody in this world was going to take down Stephen Avery, it was going to be these cops. Welcome to MAM. So it really saddens me that so many people are falling for it, saying, oh, well, look what he did, or this makes me sick. Anybody can accuse anybody of anything. Look how many false reports there are against celebrities. Stephen Avery was a local celebrity. If the cops found not 1 ounce of evidence, not 1 shred of evidence to back up their story, that's good enough for me. It honestly is. Now, before I get the very intelligent wise asses out there to say, well, they found Stephen Avery and, Brendan Dassey guilty of these charges, why isn't that good enough for you? Because it's not. Because the evidence shows otherwise. There's evidence to say that they didn't do it. There's evidence to tell me that Stephen didn't need to rape these girls. There's evidence to show me that if there was any ounce of doubt by the police in any which way, shape, or form, Stephen Avery would be sitting in jail for that. So it may be part of the reason why they set him up. I don't know. So I just wanted to clear all that up because it's getting on my nerves that I keep seeing over and over all these people bashing Stephen and, what a horrible person he is and blah, blah, blah. Well, next time you think of that, think about all the sexual charges that celebrities have gotten when they were completely innocent people. It happens every day, especially if you're a lowlife, poor person. I don't know how poor he was, but especially if you're a lowlife and, now you're coming into all this money and you're a local celebrity and you're chummy with, the mayor and the governor and everybody else. And everybody's looking up to Stephen Avery. Well, when you go to those class of people, yeah, they're going to get jealous. They're the same people. They're going to stab each other right in the fucking back for $1. I've seen it in their own family throughout this case. So that's all I got to say. Don't want to go on a tangent. But this is actually longer than I thought it was going to be, but I have to get to work. So have a great day, guys. Happy hump day. Peace out.